Hi, I'm Angie. I want to welcome you to National Indoor RV Centers, where we specialize in the sales, storage, service, and detailing of only high-end new and used coaches. So basically, we do it all. Hi, I'm Angie with National Indoor RV Centers, and today I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the 2024 Entegra Cornerstone. Now today I'll be featuring the 45D floor plan, but we'd be happy to go over other floor plans with you if you give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. Now that's a key point. I love to do these walkthroughs. I love to help educate, especially new buyers to the RV market. But, you know, I don't just do it for the fun of it. I want you to give me a call. So make sure you give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers after you watch the video. Now, if there's something particular in the video that you want to see, we've got chapters below. So you can go to that exact point. If you just scroll through the chapters or scroll on the bottom of your screen, you can go to, you know, skip ahead if you want to see the interior or something specific, maybe the dash. Now in the 45D this year, there are some big changes that they did to the interior to give it more storage, more walkthrough space. So I'm really excited to show you that once we get inside. So starting from the top, we've got our marker lights across the top, in the center, and on both ends. Then directly in the center, you have your first camera. Now you're going to have the 360 bird's eye view camera. There's 6 cameras on the exterior of this coach, and you're going to love the picture that it gives you at the dash. Can't wait to show you that. Then we've got our big windshield. Now that even curves around the corners. This year, the blinds up in the front they go up higher, so it gives you even more visibility. So great way to see this beautiful country of ours. Now right in the center of the windshield, you've got the sensor for the rain sensing windshield wipers. That's really nice, so those will automatically come on. You don't realize how nice that is until all of a sudden you're, you know, I live in Texas. We have great big downpours that come and hit us suddenly, and that's just one thing you don't have to think about. So I really like that feature. Then we've got our beautiful sea lights, our LED headlights, our Entegra, which is lit. And then right in the center here, we've got the camera, which basically works along with the collision mitigation system, adaptive cruise control, safety features that are built into the Cornerstone to keep you driving longer and safer. So we have our chrome exterior mirrors, which are internally controlled and heated. The top part is internally controlled, the bottom part is the convex mirror, and you have to adjust that manually from outside. We've got our first little marker light here, and then we've got a second marker light and our first blind spot monitor. So you're going to have 3 as we go along the coach. And again, when you're seeing those at the dash, you're actually going to see cars from where your tow vehicle is to the center of the coach to the front of the coach. It's going to give you a red bar that lets you know where that car or person is on the side of your coach. It's great visibility. You're going to love it when you get to see it inside. So here we are at the front entrance to the Cornerstone. There are 3 ways that you can get into your coach. So you can obviously use the key, the fob itself, or you can use the keypad here. So if you want to let a technician in, a friend, a grandchild, you're away, you can give them the unique code to your coach and give them access to the coach. The other thing I like about this fob is that you can lock and unlock the door, obviously. You also have the lights that will turn on your docking lights all the way around the coach. And then you have an alarm. So if you're going back to your coach, you know, you don't feel safe, someone's following you, you can hit that alarm and you're going to alert the whole campground, I promise you. So nice to have that. Another cool feature when you use the keypad to unlock your door, so you put in the unique code, the handlebar is going to light up and also your porch light lights up. So that's a nice safety feature as well. Helps you safely get into the coach with some light. That's nice. Then we've got our fuel fill for the passenger side of the coach. This is a 150-gallon diesel fuel tank. You can fill it on both the passenger and driver's side of the coach. Then right above the fuel fill, we have the Entegra Coach Cornerstone badge. So you have that on both the passenger side and the driver's side. It's gonna light up here for your sea lights and then backlight red with the Cornerstone. Just a nice little added touch. Again, lets everyone know what you're driving, which I always like when I'm going down the road. It's kind of fun to guess what coach is coming at you. It's always easy with an Entegra with their classic sea lights. Now we have 365 tires on the front with the 20,000 pound front axle. We've got the Alcoa rims, so you're not gonna have to worry about polishing those rims. Just keep them clean. They're gonna be nice and bright and shiny. One of the things that you've got to go and check out is my Retro Band video. Retro Band is a product that's sold exclusively by National Indoor RV Centers. If you know anything about National Indoor RV Centers, you know that we only sell products that we truly believe in. It's the only run flat device that I know of that's been tested on RVs, specifically made for RVs and the weight that they can carry. So go check that out, and it's a must-have. So I want to make sure you get a great shot and you really notice this beautiful paint color. So this is the agate gray. I love it because it sort of changes color when the sun hits it. So it has a little bit of purple in that fade as the graphic bends up there. Sometimes it looks like it's just all black, but it does have a little bit of purple, and I just think it's really sharp looking. Also notice the beautiful stainless steel trim at the bottom. Back to the paint, they use Sickens paint, which is high quality paint with 5 coats of clear and cut and buff. So they do 2 coats of clear, cut and buff, another 2 coats of clear, cut and buff, and another coat of clear. So it gives you a really nice finish, makes this paint job just look fantastic. Right above me here, we have our first camera for the passenger side of the coach. And then you can see that we've got the window awnings. We haven't taken those out, but those are powered now on the Cornerstone. And then we've got the Girard awnings that will extend as well. And I'll show you that with the remote control, or you can use the app from your phone, or you can do it from inside the coach. So you just channel through. I like to get to where it says double zeros because that's going to bring out your front and your rear awning together at the same time. Then you just hit the out. Now that I've got the awnings out, you can see how much shade that gives us. So let's get ready for the tailgate. Let's go ahead and get the TV set up here. So then we've got our TV, our 43-inch Samsung TV. We've got the speakers here, 2 110 outlets, and then we have our USB port. So if you want to plug in your iPhone, play music off your iPhone, you can easily do that there. And then we've got the JBL control here, so we can search. We can make it the TV, the dash radio. We can push that out here, or we can just go to our radio station, and then you can scan, volume, all that good stuff. And then we can also bring the TV out, direct it to the way that it's best for our guests, even tilt it. That's probably the most key feature because a lot of times that sun's coming in, you just need that little bit of tilt so you can get a great picture. Now that we've got our TV, our awning out, last thing we need here are some drinks and food, right? So we've got the Camco cooler. So this is a refrigerator or freezer. You can set it up. It's got 2 separate compartments. See that you can easily get in there. So if you want to make them both a refrigerator, both a freezer, you want to take some ice cream, you want to make it all drinks because you've got a lot of guests coming over, you can do whatever you want. The other cool thing about this is that you can actually lift it up. You can see that it's got the wheels. You can take this out. So if you're headed to the beach for the day, go ahead and take your cooler with you. You've got your drinks and set up your scene there. But I love that we've got that option with either the refrigerator or freezer right here. Easy to pull all the way out, easy to take out and use. You might need 2 people to get it out, and then it just locks right back into place. Inside the freezer compartment, we've got a little holder here for our Girard awning control. We've got the 12-volt receptacle to plug in the refreezer. We also have inside the box there, we had a 110 outlet as well. And then we've got our slide room control here. So above the exterior TV, we've got our kitchen window, and then above that, we've got the motion sensor, the light, security light for the passenger side. and next to that is the vent for your microwave. Then we go to our first true big storage compartment. Also want to note that we have the push button baggage doors, which I love. No more slamming of the doors, and you just push the button and they open. Also, we've got a backup key open if we, for some reason, if this ever fails or if we don't have power, we can easily use the key. And they've lined up the push button with the key. So they kind of did that mid-year last year. Then we have the tray that comes standard along with the power, which is really nice. So you can get to all of your goods really easily. Now we staged this just so you could see how much you could get on the tray. Actually, we didn't. I failed to mention earlier that this is our owner's demo coach. So we're lucky enough to get to film it, but you will get to see some of the, bends and things that you can get in this space, which is really nice. And I will measure that opening. It's a huge, lots of storage up front. And you also see how the rubber here kind of peaks at the top. That way, if you have any moisture, it's going to run off to the side, not sit on there and rot at the top. But you can see that you have great clearance with the raised rail chassis. It gives you quite a bit of clearance for those big bins. And you'll be able to extend it just as far the other direction on the driver's side, which is really nice. Also, the tray has the lip that flips down, so if you've got something heavy on here, toolbox or a cooler or something like that, or one of these big bins that's full of stuff, I know none of you have that, you can easily just slide it right out. Also, I wanted to let you know, measuring from the bottom of the tray here to the top of the chassis rail, you have 18 inches of clearance. So you can just fold that right back up. And then also, just so you can see, you've got about a 28 inch opening just to get into this bay, which is nice and big. Right inside, you're gonna see the LED lighting, the two 110 outlets, and then you're also gonna see the X bracing. Now the X bracing runs horizontally and vertically. That's going to give you that extra strength and rigidity in the chassis so that you don't feel it in the house. So Entegra has moved the second marker light to more of the center of the coach, and it's nice and high. Then we've got our push button control here for our next storage compartment. Again, I'm going to go ahead and bring that out. Such a nice big tray. Again, that front lip's going to come down, flip down, and you can see how much space you have on that tray. Again, I love that it's powered, makes life really easy. All right, lots to talk about in this compartment. Nice storage down here, no tray, but there's quite a bit of space here. And then you've got your Swim 3 splitter for your Winegard satellite. Just beyond that, we've got our inverter disconnect, so we can it's on right now, we can disconnect it there. And then if you can look up in between the chassis rails, you'll see a blue box. That is our 3,000 watt inverter by Cotec. Cotec is actually the ones that make Go Power, so now Entegra is getting them straight from the OEM. And on that inverter, say that you lose your power to your inverter, there's a little reset button on the inverter, little pop out, so you can reset it there on the actual inverter. Right inside the door, we have the solar charge controller here, and then we have all of our disconnects for each of your systems. Now, if we are not lucky enough to have you as a storage customer, remember at National Indoor RV Centers, we store at least 300 coaches at each of our locations, always plugged into 50 amp service or 30 amp service, whatever you need, with full valet service. So again, makes the whole RVing lifestyle really easy. You want to take your coach out, give us a call. We will pull the coach out of storage, check the tire pressure, make sure your refrigerator is on, start the AC, leave it for you so it's ready for you to come and pick up, or heat. Now today we picked the hottest day, I think most humid day, to film, so that's why we're sweating out here. So again, these are your breakers. If you are not going to store with us and you're storing elsewhere where you're not plugged in, you're going to want to go ahead and switch all of those off. And then you've got your two 110 outlets, because you don't want any parasitic draw on your batteries or your inverter, and you can turn the inverter off right inside there as well. Right inside the door, you can see where we've got the vent here for your furnace. So again, this is going to be a heated compartment, and you can see the temperature from your control panel inside the coach. And then we've got our Dirt Devil central vac, so you can plug in your hose here, vacuum out your storage compartments, even pull up your car next to it and vacuum out your car. So that's really nice. Then inside this panel, we've got the Firefly control panel here, kind of diagram. Also, this is where the solenoids come together when you tie your house and your chassis batteries together with the battery boost button, which I will talk about more at the dash. And we have the solenoid here for your battery disconnect for your main battery, the one that you hit when you walk into the coach right at the door. Here's our second blind spot monitor for the passenger side of the coach. Then when I hit the button, you'll see that it lights up green. If it were locked, it would light up red and wouldn't open. Now behind this door, you've got your freshwater tank, and this is your potable fill. So if you've got to add water, if you're not somewhere, if you're dry camping and you're not hooked up to city water, you may need to fill your tank right here. You can also sanitize your tank right here. And then I do love that it has the little window there, so you can actually visibly see how full your freshwater tank is. You have a 100-gallon freshwater tank on the Cornerstone. You don't have a bunch of space here, but I have seen customers get Velcro and tie up like an extension cord here and just attach it to the fabric. So, you know, you can't do much, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of creative things that people do for storage. If you want to find out more of those tips and tricks, you can watch my RVing 101 series, where I start a trip from actually prepping, packing for a trip, taking the coach on a trip. I'm actually deliver it from our Atlanta store to an AIM rally, which I'll tell you more about later, in Louisiana, and then Louisiana to Texas. Great tips and tricks in that video series. Here is our second camera for the passenger side of the coach, second docking light, and then we have our passive steer tag axle. Now you can always visibly tell if you have a passive steer tag axle simply by looking at your front axle. You can see where the bolts are right here, and they match. So anytime I kind of relate it to belly buttons, innies and outies, when they're both outies, your front and your rear axle, you know, you got a passive steer axle, that's going to give you a little bit of a tighter turning radius. It will follow your front tires. So up here you'll see the vent for the dryer. Just above that you see a drain with a little spigot coming off the end there. That is for rain or any water condensation that's coming off the roof of your coach, so that it doesn't run down the side of your paint and make it unsightly. Really nice feature there that you will love. Here we have our DEF, so that's our diesel exhaust fluid. It's a 15-gallon tank there, and then just above it we have the emergency suspension for the Spartan chassis. If you need to manually fill your airbags, that is where you would do it there in an emergency. And then you have a little bleed off valve. You just want to pull that before every trip just to make sure that you don't have any water in your system. Our last marker light and last blind spot monitor for the passenger side of the coach. And our last compartment here, very important one, we have the power control center for the rear part of the coach. If you have tail lights that are out, it's going to be a fuse within this panel here. And then we have our two chassis batteries. Again, our chassis disconnects right here. We want to make sure that you hit those when you put it in storage if you're not plugged into 50 amp service, so that you don't have any parasitic draw. Then we have our air dryer and our fuel filter water separator. And then we have our powered engine door opener. Love this. So you just press that and the back engine door opens, and it's so nice. No wrestling the back door. So now to all the manly stuff. I know that you guys love that, and I know that some of us gals do as well. So inside here we've got our coolant, our fill, and our little window so that we can see into that. Again, you want to make sure you always check that when it's cool. So in the morning before you start your trip, you want to check your coolant. Right now when it's hot, that would be dangerous to check. We have our engine oil dipstick here and our engine oil fill. Just to the side of that, we have our air filter minder. So when that gets up to the top, we want to make sure we change that air filter. And then just beyond that, we have our power steering fluid fill. This is the little, if you were to disconnect that here, I would not recommend it, but this is what makes that little shushing sound when you go into reverse. Your fuel filter for the engine. And then, do we know what this is? This is a you are too far north indicator. When you need to plug in your engine block heater, that means you need to go further south. So you can plug that in right here. Allison transmission, dipstick and fill. And then just over here is our engine air cleaner. So the air actually comes from outside. So you get the ambient air comes in and it goes into the engine air cleaner and then into the engine. So check out the rear cap. First of all, if we go to the very top, we've got our marker lights. Dead center, we have our camera for the rear of the coach. And then we've got our Entegra, which is backlit again in red. And then we go down. Remember, this Cornerstone sits on the Spartan K3 chassis. It is the Cummins X-Block engine, 15 liter, which produces the 605 turbocharged horsepower for this coach, and with a 20,000 pound tow hitch. So that means you can easily tow your stacker trailer with your fancy sports car and your toys above, whatever. You're not going to have a problem towing behind this 605 horsepower engine. Now at the bottom here, we've got the receiver, and then we've got the tow brake that comes automatic, and the 7-way for your lights for your tow vehicle. And then of course we have the nice mud flap, which says Entegra Coach across the bottom. So as I come around the driver's side of the coach, we have our first blind spot monitor for the driver's side and our first marker light. Then we've got our side radiator with the louvers that are angled just so that it will bring in the ambient air from outside. Did you know that it takes 10% of your horsepower to run that radiator fan? So on this 605 engine, it takes roughly 60 horsepower to run the fan. So bringing in that cooler ambient air makes the fan work less hard. So that's one of the benefits of having this side radiator. The other benefit is just from the access to the back engine compartment for serviceability, checking all your fluids and whatnot, much easier. And then just a little radiator maintenance. You want to take your garden hose and just gently squirt off the side radiator to keep that clean. Once you've driven your coach a couple times, you'll see what I mean. A lot of debris will get caught in there. So just gently rinse that off to help it work more efficiently. Then we have our first docking light for the driver's side of the coach. Directly up from that, we've got our first camera for the driver's side of the coach. And then below that, we've got our second blind spot monitor for the driver's side, and our Stinky Slinky for the Thetford Sanacon system. So next compartment here is our wet bay, which is nicely lit. We've got the light we can turn on and off here, or it will turn on with our cargo lights. First thing up is our front spray port. So this is brand new for 2024, and I'm super excited about it because it is basically a hot and cold water line to the front generator area, so you can spray off your windshield and your front cap when you get to your destination. Get rid of those bugs. We don't want to leave any of those pesky bugs on there that could possibly eat through the diamond shield. I know they're not supposed to, but there's a few out there that will. And then just to clean off your windshield. It's nice once you're going to be at a campground for a long time to be able to do that. So hot and cold are controlled here, which is really nice. Then the next thing is our C2 tank monitor, so we can check our battery level, our freshwater tank, gray tank, and black tank. Just so you know, we have a 100-gallon freshwater tank, a 65-gallon gray tank, and a 45-gallon black tank. And our water pump we can turn on right here. Here are our black tank valves, so you can open and close them. Gray tank valves open and close. This is our macerator. We turn it on here. And then this is the tilt. So this is really cool. This is a new feature as well. So you can actually raise the passenger side of the coach so that it will give a better dumping angle for your tanks. So that's really nice, and you can do that right here at the wet bay. And then the light on and off for the compartment. Our freshwater fill valve is right here, so up and down is hook up for city water fill, and then when we turn it is fill for freshwater tank. Our city water connection here. Then we have the black tank flush and the gray tank flush. So when it's horizontal, it's the black tank, and then new for 2024 is the gray tank flush. This was added due to customer requests. So I love that Entegra actually listens to their customers, and you can hook up your hose here. Then here is the auto hose reel. So when you're done being connected to city water, and you can pull that out. That goes right through the grommet right here, so you can close up your wet bay, not have any critters get in through here. When you're done with that, just automatically retract it. Super nice. Now over here to the side, we have the filter for the whole coach. And then we've got this little ring here that is not for blowing bubbles, though I think it would probably work. But this is how you actually put that on and change that filter out. You've got a little hook for it. And then we've got our external shower here, controlled with hot and cold as well. And you got a nice little stream that will come off that. You've got a spot here for your paper towels, for soap, or your plastic gloves. So when you're doing all that dirty work, you can clean up easily right after. Now that's one of those things that I go through thoroughly in my RVing 101 series. How I hook up everything here at the wet bay, hook it up, and then disconnect. Now behind this panel, you can see the Thetford Sanacon system. That's your macerator for your black tank, basically a garbage disposal for your black tank. You can see that this is all nicely lined. You can squirt it out and wash it out, and then it will rinse right out there at the bottom. If you need to do a gravity dump for some reason, right here is where you connect underneath the coach, so you'd have an extra stinky slinky connected there underneath to do a gravity dump if needed. So this is where you add your water filter for your drinking water, which is 1 micron. You've got 5 micron for the whole coach in this one, but you just disconnect here, add your water filter here for your drinking water. You're probably wondering what this exhaust is for. That is for your Aqua Hot, which is your on-demand hot water system and your furnace. So here is your 450 diesel Aqua Hot. And you can see to the side here, we've got the coolant for the Aqua Hot and the fuel oil filter for your Aqua Hot, and then your display panel for your Aqua Hot. Back here we have our RV transfer protection switch, and then we have our 50 amp shore power cord on an auto reel. Love that. 2 110 outlets and your cable input. Now let's talk about transfer switch. Typically your coach is always going to give priority to the generator. Now Entegra has switched that, so it's giving priority to shore power when you're plugged in. So that's really nice. Always use the shore power, but let's say that you have bad power from the shore power and it turns off. Then it will allow your auto gen start to keep everything running in your coach as you've set it internally. Always, I like to recommend adding an extra surge guard protector. You've got the one in the coach, but I like to have one either at the that you add to your cord here, or at National Indoor RV Centers, we can add one inside the compartment there so that you don't have to worry about anything getting stolen. Unfortunately, that can happen these days. Midship security light, motion detector for your driver's side of the coach. And then we have our midship marker light. And we've got our big pass-through tray here for the driver's side. So again, those nice big trays will just easily come out. Go ahead and show you how far it extends on the driver's side, just as far as it did on the passenger side. Woo! Actually, will come out a little bit more, and you've got the same features, the lip that will fold down, so we can easily take out these big bins that might be really heavy. We can just slide them right off, which I love that feature. And then they just flip right back up and power back in. Inside this compartment too, we've got the Dirt Devil filter there for your central vac. Our second pass-through compartment. So again, we've got the power tray that will extend all the way out. We've got all the hoses for your central vac here. And again, LED lit so you can easily see your contents inside your storage bays. Our last storage compartment. This is really nice. This is where you would typically see your house batteries from some other manufacturers. Entegra's put those at the center of the coach. We didn't even talk about them because you can't see them, but it frees up this whole compartment for storage, which is super nice and very tall. So here is our second camera for the driver's side of the coach. So that is our 6th camera overall to contribute to that bird's eye view, 360 view that we're going to see when we get inside. Then we have our fuel fill for the driver's side of the coach and our badging here for the driver's side of the coach. Now new for 2024 is we've got slide out room lights, under lighting on the driver's side as well as the passenger side. So it just makes it look really nice. When you see Entegra coaches in the campground at night, there's no denying what it is because you've got your sea lights on in the front, you've got your slide out lights. It just looks fantastic. This is our second docking light for the driver's side of the coach. And then we have our last compartment here. We've got the exhaust for our generator, so you want to make sure if you've been using your generator that you don't touch that and burn yourself. Fuses for the front half of the coach, or say your power seat isn't working inside the coach, this is where that fuse will be. Then we've got our equalizer jack system right here, so if you don't want to air level, if you want to put down your jacks, you can do that right here. Turn on the light in this compartment. Then we've got this nice little netting here. And then behind there we've got more fuses. You have to have the ignition on, but then you can do your power generator slide extend. So when I hit this button, go ahead and watch that exhaust again from the generator so that it doesn't hit you. Generator pops right out. As we go around the front, we have our last marker light and our last blind spot monitor. As I come around front, you can see our big 12.5 Cummins Awning generator just inside the door here. You can see where you would do your dipstick and your oil fill for the generator. This is where we would fill it with coolant. Also, if your generator isn't turning on from inside, you may have flipped the breaker. This is where you need to reset it. And we can start and stop the generator here. We can also see our generator hours. Our windshield wiper fluid and the wussy horn. So right underneath your windshield wiper fluid, there is the connection for your hose for that hot and cold water to this generator area. Another new feature for 2024 is this alignment pin. So that's gonna, when you push your generator or when your generator goes back in, it's gonna go right into this hole here, keep that from rattling and shaking as your generator is working. And then when we come around the corner here, you're going to see a condenser here for your dash AC. So that's super important, actually, that it's in front. So instead of traveling from the back of the coach 50 feet forward, it only has to go 5 feet. So it's going to stay much cooler inside, and you're not going to get hot and sweaty like I am right now. All right, so almost time to head inside. When I open the front door, you can see that the steps come out. Now, right inside the front door, there's a little power switch, so I can lock it so that now that I'm camping in my camping spot, I don't want that switch, the steps to go in and out every time I open and shut the door. So I want to lock them out. And you'll see that we have a nice little drawer here. This is great. I love it for really dirty shoes, or if you have a dog leash, or if you want to do some pet food in there. Nice little spot there right as you go into the coach. Then you can see the beautiful Entegra coach that's lit up, just looks really nice. And we've got the light for the stairwell, which is right inside this coach too. So we can just turn that on and off. Again, safe entrance and exit from the coach. So we have the step light control, the step power button, so we can lock that out. And then we have the main power disconnect, so we can disconnect that as we leave our coach, hit it back on when we come back in. Just above that, we have a panel here, again for our master interior lights on and off, our passenger and driver side security lights, our entry shades, day and night. And then we've got our awning controls for our passenger side awnings and our driver side awnings. So we can control those right there. and then back to our main screen. And then right beyond that, we have our fire extinguisher. Now remember, this is a 45-foot coach, and we have one fire extinguisher. I don't think it's sufficient. I'm glad that it's right here. I know right where to get it if I'm outside my coach or inside, but you really need to protect your coach with Protang fire suppression system. Again, it's something that only National Indoor RV Center sells. We can do a custom quote for you. You can do individual areas that you think are a fire hazard, or we can do the entire coach, and we can quote you that today. So just give us a call, National Indoor RV Centers, 469-377-1330, and we'll get you that quote. As I step into the Cornerstone, I've got the nice leather wrapped sturdy handrail so I can safely get in and out of my coach. As I step up, we're going to have our great storage above. So let's go ahead and just go through that. Behind this cabinet here, we've got our AC overrides. Now, these are great. If for some reason your Firefly panel isn't working, you can turn on your ACs right here, so you're never going to die heat. Actually, what it's really nice for is if you just need a quick on and off, you can turn it on here. But just remember that this is overriding any other system, so it will stay on 24/7. And if you do that, you're going to end up freezing up some of your coils. So you don't want to do that. So turn it on if you need to. Make sure you turn it off because it will override any other system. Then we've got our secondary slide controls for our slide rooms. Kitchen slide, super slide, vanity slide, and bedroom slide. So again, you can do them from the Firefly panel or Vega Touch panel or from right here. Then we've got our over-the-air antenna. So we can just turn that on and it's going to search for local channels. So super easy to do, on and off. Behind here, we've got a nice big storage compartment. This is our Traveler's Wine Guard satellite. So you can power it here, you can stow here. Again, this is for HD. If you are not using it, you want to make sure you check that and that it's down before you leave the campground. Then we have our ignition TV lockout box here. So this is so you cannot watch the TV or have that screen on while you're going down the road. If you happen to choose to do that, just remember that it's recommended that you don't, but I have seen people throw up their ways or maps up there so they can see that as they're traveling down the road. There's also an extra 110 outlet in here as well, and then just a lot of free space. We have our 32-inch Samsung TV, and then more storage here. Of course, our National Indoor RV Centers hat, 4 110 available outlets, and then this is the Trimark system. So this is what powers your keyless entry fob and also your cargo locks on your baggage compartments. So if for some reason they're not working, this is where you can reset that system. Make sure though, before you do that or before you touch anything, that you're working with either one of National Indoor RV Center technicians or Entegra, or a combination of both. We can help you, walk you through that. So here are our power control centers. So if we look in this first box here, we have leg 1 and leg 2. So let's have a little electricity lesson here. So you have 50 amps of power coming in on leg 1 and 50 amps of power coming in on leg 2. So you really have 100 amps of power. So compare that to when you're in a coach that has 30 amps. You have 30 amps on one leg, that's it. With this, you've got 2 legs, each with 50 amps, giving you 100 amps of power. When you are either plugged in to shore power or using your generator. Now we've got everything that's in the blue, your basement, your stove, middle AC is coming off leg 1. And then everything else is coming off leg 2. So if you go to your inverter, it's going to go through the inverter, pass through, come up, and power everything in this box here. So if your microwave isn't working, something's not working in your bathroom, you can go and check and see that your inverter may not be on. Welcome to the beautiful interior of the 2024 Cornerstone. Now this is the 45D floor plan, and they've made some new cool changes for this year, for 2024. So I'll get to show you those when we move into the kitchen area. But right now you can see that I've rotated around the captain, the co-captain's chairs. And so we've got lots of seating here. 2 reclining options here. The theater seating we optioned in across from the sofa, which has a fold-out bed. I'll show you that in a minute. But we've also got 8 seat belts, so that's huge. You've got the 2 in the captain's seats, 2 in the theater chairs, 1 in each booth, and 2 in the sofas, so that's a big deal. You notice the beautiful leather on our theater seating and our sofa, everything in here, and it's now made by, the furniture is now made by Crown Furniture Company. So we have Villa chairs up front, everything else is Crown. The beautiful porcelain tile floor is the Sculptra Venato tile. Now that's one of those things that you can give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. We're happy to walk you through making a few little custom changes to the interior of your coach. I've seen a lot of people put the Aspire floor in here or the Anthem floor, so we're happy to do that for you. And then we have the beautiful Stonewall Gray matte finished cabinets. So let's try out these awesome theater seats here. I love the fact that they're powered, they're very comfy, nice and roomy, and they really, I want to show you how far they extend. And now the problem is just trying to stay awake because they are so comfortable. That thing I love about them is right here we've got our button for our big 50-inch screen TV right here, so I can easily take that down or bring it up from this chair. Along with the power buttons here on the theater seating, I also have a USB charging port, and then we've got storage. So we've got a spot for our remotes, even a blanket, and then I really like the remote controls. So you charge these through either solar or USB-C port. So that's really cool. You don't have to worry about, you know, having those extra batteries around. I like that little storage space. They changed it up for us this year too. We still get our 2 cup holders, but we also have this storage base below. So they divided the storage so it's not this deep compartment like it used to be. You've got 2 separate spaces, so that's really nice. Now just behind me, I have 2 110 outlets on either side of the theater seating. And above the theater seating, we've got a nice amount of storage. Now remember, as I go through this coach, this is our founders and CEO's coach. He's kind enough to let us use his home as the demo unit. So you'll get to see how some of the space is used. He's got his extra bedding for when the grandkids come over. They can pull out the bed here and make up the bed, pillows and sheets and everything across from there, paper towels, but lots of storage in these overhead cabinets. So speaking of the bed, let's go ahead and just make it up. Let's pretend like we have guests. Now something I want to show you before we get to actually pulling the whole bed apart is Entegra has kind of thought of everything, which I love. So for those of us that aren't, 6 feet tall, they've made this sofa a little bit more comfortable by bringing the back cushion up. And they did that by giving us a little extra cushion. So if I want to push it back more, I can do that. Shorter guests, you can put this cushion in behind you. So you can pull that bed out. You see that it's nice queen size bed. So I've got the pump out, and you can see that you've got the 2 seat belts here as well. I just pulled that out to show you. Now I'm just going to twist this off, and then I just twist this on. Now that it's on, I'm just going to plug it in and blow up the mattress. Now I'm not actually going to do it because we have plastic on it. I'm going to keep it nice and neat until we go to use it. But then once I'm done with it, I'll just take that off, and then I just lift here to deflate the mattress. So right behind the sofa, we have our big 50-inch Samsung TV, 4K, really nice. And right above that, we've got the Bose soundbar. Then let's check out the storage. So above the soundbar, we've got a nice storage compartment here, which is connected to the 2 side compartments. So we have our satellite input here. So if you want to have a satellite box or a receiver, that's where it could go. You've got 3 available 110 outlets. And then over to the side here, we have our matrix box, so we can direct the input from the satellite to whatever TV we want here. And our Blu-ray DVD player, and we've got our HDMI input in here as well. And then also 2 available 110 outlets. To the side of each TV, we've got more storage with adjustable shelves. I love that. Little National Indoor RV Centers bag. I can get you one of those. And then we have storage over here to the other side. Now just below, or to the side of the storage, we've got another 2 110 outlets. And then I wanted to go over, first of all, our thermistor. So thermistor is what speaks to the thermostat to help get the temperature in the coach nice and pleasant. So I'll point those out throughout the coach. And then we've got our first control panel. So this is our light panel here. So we can do the front master lights all on or all off. Our entry lights, kitchen ceiling, midship ceiling, living room, ceiling center, and then living room ceiling accent, living room edge accent, dinette, kitchen, and then the slide out lights here. Then we can control our shades from here and back to our lighting. So then we'll go to the settings button here. We can control the brightness of our screen, the screensaver, cleaning mode, device info, blackout. So if we want to black the screen out completely, it's giving us the location that it's in, and then we can go to the color legend. So this is going to give you the legend for your shades. The day shades will be black on the dial, the night shades will be white, and the awning will be this maroon color. So if I return to my shades, you can see that the night shades are the white and the day shades are the black. Next up is our dinette. So on the 45D, you can have either the table and chairs, or you can go with the booth dinette setup. So we've optioned in for the booth here. We have lots of storage above. Again, no dividers between the space, which is nice. So you've got lots of room for all your goods. Notice we have new lighting for 2024. I love that. And then the booth is super comfy. Oh, actually it's really comfy. So I like this Crown furniture. Can I say that? Very comfortable booth. Plenty of room for your guests. And it does extend just a little bit. You've got to unlock it. And you have a little extra extension there if you've got guests over. And we do have a nice compartment underneath the table for storage. And we have storage underneath the booth. So you pull this little black tab, pull out your storage drawer, and you've got one under each booth. Very nice. So now to the kitchen. I'm super excited to show you because, check this out, straight edge this year for 2024. So they straightened it out. That did a couple of things. It gave you more storage here, plus it gives you a bigger walkway when your slides are in. So that's really nice. They switched the sink from here to here. So you've got your induction cooktop here. We still have our nice countertop here and then our extra pull out. So that gives us a little extra counter space to work with, but look at how nice and big that feels. It really makes the kitchen feel a lot bigger, I think. So another bonus for the D floor plan. Then we've got our pull-out drawers. Look how far they extend. Got our little cutting board here. Really nice full extension drawers. Then we go to our little flip down in front of the sink. So we've got the little slider so we can slide things right in here into the trash. We've got a little spot here for our brushes and sponges we can hold. And then look how much bigger this is too. Like that drawer is a lot bigger. Sorry for the garbage, but remember, we're in a model home that's being used. But I do love that. I love the pull-out garbage. Love the spot for your sink covers. Beautiful Blanco sink with the residential faucets. Beautiful solid surface countertops. Then we go right to our induction cooktop. We've got the cover, and all new for 2024 is we've got the cutting board on the back side of the cooktop cover. So it actually gives it dual purpose. Protects and covers your stove, plus gives you another place that you can cut. So you can just turn that over if you're not using your stove. You've got another solid surface that you can work on there for cutting. I think everyone's familiar with induction cooktops now, but these are really nice. You can get things to boil, water to boil almost instantly, as long as you've got pans that a magnet will attach to. Put it on there, heats up really quickly, and then the nice thing about it is once you turn it off, it cools down very quickly as well. To the side of our big kitchen window, we have little spice cubbies. That's probably what I would use them for. And we've got one on this side as well. And then just beyond above here, underneath the cabinets, we've got our two 110 outlets and another two 110 outlets. Then we go to our great storage above. Really like this. We've got the divided shelf here with the pullouts, so you can get to everything in the way back, which I always like. Plenty of room for all those paper goods if that's what you choose to use, or pots and pans and dishes. A little compartment here where we can put our cover for our cooktop, or you can put cookie sheets. Just below this compartment, we've got our convection microwave oven. It's a Furrion. These are great. You can bake just about anything in them. Biscuits. I have my customer Nettie, who I just love, who bakes this beautiful loaf of bread in her convection microwave oven every day. And then I do love that on the D floor plan, you also get the spice shelf here. And this is an added bonus for 2024. With the change, we get another storage compartment here. Love the little shelves that they've given us. And then another new feature, new option for 2024 is that you can delete the dishwasher and get 2 extra drawers. So look at how big this drawer is. Imagine having 2 more drawers that are deeper than that instead of the dishwasher. If you're one of those people that doesn't ever use a dishwasher or plan to use a dishwasher, the drawer is a nice option. I wanted to point out that there's a new water filter right here at the sink. Since we don't have it in our refrigerator, they've given it to us here at the sink. And then we have the LG refrigerator with the French doors, plenty of room for all of your boxed goods, chocolates, and water. I'm kidding. I'm teasing our CEO a little bit. Now I'm really going to tease him though, because really, what do you need more in life than Bluebell ice cream? Yep, that's it. That's all you need. And you've got your ice below there as well. And now to our great big pantry. This is another new feature for 2024. All of our pantries will have the pull-out drawers. So just pull on those and you've got all your snacks and goodies from the very back to the very front that are accessible to you. Love that. So we've got 3 drawers up top, 2 drawers below. That's nice because you've got an extra big drawer down there, so you can have your like Instapot, air fryers, no problem there. All right, we've got our dustpan for the kitchen or the center of the coach. You just flip that on and it will just sweep up everything right to it and it will suck it all away. We've got our central vac here. And then just above that, we've got our propane gas alarm. And then our thermistor. We have 2 actually for the center of the coach. Right before we go into our midship bathroom. Let's head into the half bathroom. I always say that Entegra has some of the biggest half baths available. So not only do we have a nice size half bath, we also have some great storage in here as well. So storage above. And we have the window, which is nice because it just makes it feel bigger too. So here we have the Firefly pinout. And then below that we have the battery disconnect for our circuits. Storage to the side of that. Then we have our nice solid surface, actually quite a bit of space here, residential faucet, and then I love the integrated sink. Little flip down there for toothbrushes or toothpaste, whatever we want. Nice cabinet and storage below and to the side. And we're not done. There's still more storage because we have storage right behind the toilet too. So a great place to hold toilet paper or just whatever you need. I just like that they've given us that extra storage. course, we have the push button Tecma toilet. We have another control panel here in the bathroom. So we have one that will control the bathroom shades. And then we have the controls for the fan in the bathroom. We've got the levels for our tanks, fresh, gray, and black. And we can turn the water pump on and off. And we're back to our shades and our ceiling lights. Entegra also gives us this pretty picture plus an extra towel hook, which you can't get enough of those. So now we get to go over the Vega Touch panel. This is one of my favorite control panels. It's very user-friendly. You can do almost everything. You can control almost everything here at this panel. And one of the reasons I do think it's user-friendly is that if you forget how something works, all you have to do is hit that question mark in the bottom, and then you can go to the whatever you need help with. If it's tanks and plumbing, it's going to walk you through it, and then you can close it. When you're done with your question, just hit that question again and all the question marks will disappear. So that's just really easy. Can't remember how it works, hit that question mark. So this is the main page. It's reporting no errors. It's letting us know that we can do our interior and exterior lights right here, and we can also have memory settings for those. We've got our day shade controls and our night shade controls. This is away and stow, so we have preset factory settings for away and stow, and you can customize those if you want to go into that. Then we're going to go to our AC source. We are hooked up to shore power right now, and we have 122 volts on line 1 and 119 volts on line 2. Our chassis batteries levels and our house battery levels, and then we had our auto gen start here. So if I press and hold this, it's going to take me into my auto gen start settings. So it's going to let me know that it will engage the auto gen start if I have insufficient shore power. Volt based start, so if I drop below 11.7 volts, it's going to start, and there's a climate start. So if I've set it to not let the coach go below, get hotter than 80 degrees, it will bring on the ACs. It will start it up for me. We've also got the quiet time set from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. And then we have the quiet time pre-fill. So basically what this is saying that during not the quiet time, if it's going to drop below 11.9, 2 hours ahead of our quiet time, so at 8 p.m., it's going to engage the auto gen start to get us to 11.9. Then we can exercise the generator. So I've got it set for 10 days, but if I want to edit that, I can easily select whatever length of time I want and keep it at 10 days, set it and close. And then how long do I want it to run when I'm exercising the generator? I've set it for 45 minutes. Again, that's a really easy one that you can determine how long you want it to run when it gets to that point. So set it there and then close. Then we have our tank levels. We also, right above that, we have our temperatures for each room in the coach. So living room, kitchen, bedroom, and then our storage bays. Our fresh water tank is 75% full, gray tank is 7% full, and black tank is 4% full. I can turn my water pump on here, and my engine preheat. This is the engine preheat for the Aqua Hot, that it preheats the engine area. And then we have our diesel heat and our electric heat. So if I'm just using my sinks, probably electric heat is fine. This is 5,000 BTUs. This is like 50,000 BTUs. So if I want a nice long hot shower, I'm going to go ahead and hit the diesel heat. Next button down below is our lights. So right now I'm in basic mode, so you can see that each section of the coach is mapped out. So I've got the living room area, the mid bath, bedroom, and master bath, and I control the lights in each of those sections very easily. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them back on and full brightness, and I control that whole area. Now if I want to go to an individual light, I'll go to control mode, and that's where I can control the light individually in that spot. I can change the brightness, set it just for that one individual light. Now we've got our shade controls. They're the same as the lighting controls. We have control mode where I can do individual. I can do my front entry door or the passenger seat or the vanity in the bedroom. I can individually control those blinds, or I can go to basic mode, which that will help me control a whole area. I can put the shades, my day shades and my night shades up and down from there. So this is the lights, the exterior lights for our slides and our awnings. Another new item for 2024 is the under the slide outs on the driver's side. So I can check those right here, or I can check the awnings, and I can adjust brightness on the awnings, and that's just for exterior appeal, ambiance, whatever you'd like. But you can do that all here. You can turn your motion sensor on and off there. When the light is on, the motion sensor will be on. We can also control the slide rooms from this page. So now I can take them out or bring them in, out, bring them in, and the same with the awnings. So out and in on your awnings. Then we have our temperature control. You can do them individually, or you can sync them to all be the same. And to sync it, you're just going to hit the arrows up here in the corner. You can turn your floor heat on and off from here. You can control your fans in the kitchen, stool, and rear bath. This is your solar charger. So this is going to let you know what those two 200-watt solar panels are bringing you in, amp-wise, watt-wise, outside. So if you take your amps times volts, it will equal your watts. We're bringing in 201 watts right now, our house battery level and our chassis battery level. Now this is where you can kind of customize your home screen. So if I take you back to the home screen, you'll see that there's nothing in this section right here. If you want some quick buttons there, you'll do it back on this page. So I know for sure I want to have my entry locks on that front page. So I'm going to say edit home page, hit my entry locks, and then I'm going to go to my home page. There are my entry locks. Go back to that page and say I want to add and delete. Okay, not edit there, add and delete. So now I can go to more individualized little sections. So say for some reason, I do want the porch light on there. So I'm going to put save and close. So now I can see that it's here as an option to add. There's the porch light. So I'm going to edit my home, add the porch light, go to the home page. Now I've got my porch light and my entry lock. I want the porch on there in case I hear something at night outside. I want to be able to flip that on so people know that I'm in the coach, and I want to double check my locks. So I like that. Then let's go to our settings button. So I've got the pairing part up right now. The great thing about the Vega Touch 2 is you can just scan this QR code, download the Nebula app, and then you can do all the controls that you can do on this panel, you can do from your phone. So that's really cool, very easy to set up. You can also customize a few things on your display, check for software updates, and then you can set sleep time for the panels. So right now we've got it set to sleep from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then this will just take you back to your main screen. Again, it's giving you your temperature and your time. And you can go to blackout mode so that you get nothing on your screen. Welcome to the beautiful master bedroom of the 45D. Now I love this bedroom. I think you've got lots of storage that I'll cover, but we have our gorgeous king size bed. We have the new Comfort Air mattress. So new, it's not Sleep Number anymore, but you have couple memory settings that you can set, and each side can again be set to its own level. So, you know, if your husband likes it a little bit firmer or you like it softer, you can set those, and then you can have memory settings as well, which is nice. We have storage above the bed, nice and deep. There's no way I could get to the very back. I like to personally use like plastic bins so I can kind of pull them out to get to the very back, but they're nice and deep. You can see that we've got two big king-size pillows that are filling that extra space over on the other side. So that gives you an idea how deep it is. On each side of the bed, you've got a nightstand, and then you've got the two 110 outlets on both sides and a storage compartment. And we have more storage underneath our bed. So lots of storage, nice and deep. Lots of room for shoes, blankets, quilts, whatever you need, clothing. Just a lot of storage that you have access to. One thing I really like about this new Comfort Air mattress is the amount of cushion around the bladder, the air bladder. So I take this apart, I'm just kind of showing you how much. Okay, right there, I know you can't feel it, but right here is the bladder for that air. So that's going to give you that support and firmness that you like. But then you have all this cushion around it. So it's going to be a really nice sleeping mattress. I think that you're going to find you won't miss your Sleep Number. Now the Sleep Number residential one has more padding around it, but this one definitely for RVs has more padding, and I think it's going to be a nicer mattress to sleep on. So I'm excited about this new change for 2024. Underneath the cabinets, we've got the control for our ceiling fan, which is a nice offering that we get with our Entegra product. And then we've got the controls for the rear master lights, ceiling, our reading lights that you can see on both sides, our accent lights, the bed overhead lights, and then we can lock and unlock the entry door. We can turn on the courtesy lights. We can do the shade controls for the bedroom, our night shades and our day shades. And we can black out this panel so that it's not shining in our eyes when we're sleeping. Then we have our directional lights here that we can touch on and off and direct that light wherever we need it. Now, directly across from the bed, we have a great setup. This is pretty much what Entegra does in almost all of its coaches, diesels for bedroom setup, because it gives you so much storage. So you have great cabinets on both sides with adjustable shelves. Here we've got our DVD player, and we've got our input for receiver box or whatever you would need there. And then you can see lots of storage. You can take out a shelf, you can move them around, whatever you need. And then we have nice drawers here, nice and deep, and more drawers here, along with our Bose soundbar. Nice little solid surface space here. Right next to our window, we've got the two 110 outlets, another control panel, basically the same controls that I just showed you that were underneath the bed for lights and shades. You just don't have the lock. You can't lock the front door from this panel like you can at the bed. But it's always when you get into bed that you're wondering if you lock the front door, so I love that option. Then we have our 32-inch Samsung TV, and right behind that you've got a little hook there, and you've got your safe, more storage, another 110 outlet. But I love this space, love the safe, and it's easy to get to. You don't have to dig behind your clothes. Easy to access, but not everyone knows it's there. Well, they do now if they watch the video. Now to the master bathroom of the 45D. Now this is one of the things that I love about this floor plan. It's the fact that the bathroom, you have flat floor until you get to the closet. So that means when you get up in the middle of the night, have to use the restroom, you don't have to navigate a step, which I think is great. Plus the bathroom is on the slide, so it feels really nice and big when you come into the space here. We have the double vanity, marriage saver. I love that. Each have your own space. And then my favorite thing of all time is the amount of space that you get in this medicine cabinet. Like crazy amount of space for storage. And then you can also use your mirrors to check the back of your hair, open them up. You can check out it all. So I really do like that space. The residential faucets, the nice backsplash. We've got two 110 outlets on either side, plus another control panel for our ceiling lights, our lav lights, our shades back here. The fan here, can you control here? Our fresh gray and black tank levels, and our water pump. So all right there. And then we've got more storage here. So we have our drawers, little flip down drawers, tons of storage there. And nice storage. Again, appreciative of the owner of this coach to let us demo it with all their stuff in here. Then we have the toilet paper holder, another towel holder, our Tecma toilet with the push button controls. And when I move the Aim Club towels, we have storage back here. So a great place to store all your toilet paper. Then we've got the two 110 outlets, the push button controls, the window, and I do love all the towel bars. Hook, towel bar, and then we have storage above. In the 45D, you have a nice size shower, 36 by 40. We've got the flip down seat if you want it. Love the tile and the floor of the shower. Then we have the water shower miser here. So this is a great feature. This is going to allow you to have nice hot water without wasting water from your freshwater tank or needlessly filling up your gray tank. So there's a little symbol on the side here. So when I turn this to the recirculating, that means the water's recirculating and it's going to warm up. So you just get in here, turn it to that, turn your shower on. No water's going to come out here because it's warming up. And then do you remember the mood rings that we all had and loved? I think maybe I still want one. The mood rings, how they changed by the temperature outside or the temperature of your skin. That's the same thing with this dial. So when the water heats up, that color lightens up, color changes. Once it's warm, you just turn it over towards the shower head. Now the water will come out here, or you can adjust this little knob here to have it come out the handheld device. And we've got this nice big skylight here. It gives us some nice lighting in the bathroom without having to have any lights on. Okay, now to my final favorite reason that I love the 45D, the walk-in closet. Ladies, just so you know, I think it's the biggest closet. But there may be other factors and things that you're looking for, but I do love it. So now we're going to finally step up into the master closet. Remember, this coach is owned, so we're going to see contents in here, but it does give you an idea of how much it will hold. So step up, you have access to the engine here for technicians if needed. Then we have our Splendid washer and dryer. And a little compartment here if you want to put soaps, dryer sheets. Nice to have that as well. And then what I really love about this is that you have full access to your whole closet. You don't have to open one door, close the other. Just again, personal preference, but that's what I like. I feel like you can get more things in here. I love the lighted wardrobe bar here. Lots of rooms for shoes and gear below. And then still gets better. We still have all this space again above, plus a cedar lined closet, and then adjustable shelves here. This is a huge wardrobe for us. 3 drawers. Nice and deep. So there you have it. I love the closet, so that's like why I like the 45D, but there's several other floor plans for you to choose from. Just give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers and we'll happily walk you through all the features and benefits of the other floor plans. I always like to show the coach with the slides in so you can see how much room you have. So you could easily sleep on your bed. You can get into your pantry, easily get into the half bath. Lots of space here. Your refrigerator. Look at all the space they've created here in the kitchen with that straight edge rather than the curve. So lots of space here all the way through. Now it gets a little bit tight when you do sofa. You have a little bit more room if you do the fireplace option with the wine cooler or desk. That would give you a little bit more space in this walkway, but there's still plenty of room to walk through. So I'm here at the dash, lots to go over for 2024. First of all, let's talk about the chairs though. Again, super comfortable. We have the powered chairs, so they go backwards and then forward, up and down, and backwards, up and down. You've got all the controls so you can get it just perfect the way you like it. Then we have the button here for your backrest, and then your lumbar support. And then this will be the footrest when you have the chair turned around into the family room. Then we've got the cooled and heated seats. Love that feature. And another standard that comes with your Entegra Cornerstone is the massage feature on the pilot and the co-pilot's chair. So that's great. I don't know that this is a good thing for me because I have a hard enough staying awake as it is. So we'll probably just leave that right there. But I do love that feature, and that's going to work also when you have your chairs turned around into the living room. To the left, I've got the lever that you lift so that you can rotate the chair into the living room. Then we've got our tag dump button here, our power window control, one of my favorite buttons, our generator start and stop, battery boost. So this is where you're going to take your chassis batteries and your house batteries, tie them together in the event that you come back to your coach and your batteries are dead. Then we have our dome lights, which are here just above the captain's chair, cup holder, and then this is another favorite for me this year. So we have a nice little spot for our phones, and it is a wireless charging pad. So I can just lay my phone down there, and you'll see that it's going to light up and start charging. You can also lay your AirPods down on that, and they'll charge that as well. Really nice feature, and it's not going to slide around because it's got this little cubby that it sits inside of when you're driving, which I really like. And just above that, we have our Allison transmission controls, so reverse, neutral, and drive. Then we can change the mode, so we can go to economy mode, so it will just change your shifting pattern. And then if you want to get information about your transmission, you press the plus and the minus sign together, and it's going to scroll through information on your oil, filters, transmission, and this is actually more accurate than the dipstick itself. Then we have our parking brake release and our auto headlights. This is where we can turn our headlights on and off, and our fog lights. I'm always going to keep them in that auto position just so I don't have to think about it. Just below the park brake, we've got a USB charging port, and that also is a port where you can update your dash. So you download the update to your USB drive here, and then you just go ahead and set it in, put it into the USB drive. Now this is a lit USB drive, so you can see that it actually is working. So I like that it's lit there. If it's lit or flashing, you know that it's taking the update. And then just below that, we have our 12-volt receptacle. First really important button is your hazard. So you just pull that out to turn your hazards on. To turn them off, you're just going to use the turn signal. Push it up or down either way, and it will turn those right off. And then obviously a turn signal for left and right. We have some new toggle switches here. So this toggle switch will answer a phone call, so you just push it up to answer, down to hang up, and then we have the engine brake control here. So up will turn it on, and then if you push down, you can go from low, medium, or high. And it also shows up in the dash. It's just a light gray button in the dash. Then when it's actually active while we're driving, it will light up green. So I'll show you that when we're doing our test drive. On the other side of the steering wheel, we have the toggle buttons as well. This is for the volume control on your radio, and this is to turn it on and off. Here in the steering column, we've got our headlight control here. We can flash our headlights here. And on the opposite side, we've got the marker lights that we can flash. Then we have our cruise control, so we can turn the cruise control on and off, resume, set, and then we can cancel the cruise control. Here we've got our screen view. So if I push this, this is where I could actually bring up my maps right on the screen, or I can bring up the actual 360 bird's eye view, so you can see that over to the right, and then you can see the rear view camera from the back. So that's really nice to have that quick touch screen to do both the maps and my camera. Okay, the buttons here are for your seat controls for your radio, and then your source is you can just direct the source. If it's coming from your radio, USB, Sirius, you can click through right here. Now this is your driver information button because it's going to give you information on the dash. Also want to give a little shout out to Mark and Kathy for my nice bracelet. They know I like bling, and so they have a Cornerstone, so I figured it was fitting that I wear it for this video. When I click that home button, it's always going to take me to my trip information, and then I can start to scroll through that information on the screen. And I can see my trip 1 information. Then I've got my PSI information for my tires. Easy Steer. So if I click into that, Easy Steer is your automated assistant when you're driving. So basically, if there's a strong headwind coming to the side of the coach, it's going to detect that and then adjust for you automatically. So you can adjust the Easy Steer by taking it higher for more assistance or down for less. I usually like to keep it high when I'm traveling, so I'm going to go ahead and take it to the max and click it in, and then go back. Then I've got my suspension and air leveling here. This is where I would do my air leveling. And my accelerator position. So this, just so you know, your accelerator position has to be at 0 for your engine brake to click in and be active. So if it's even at 1%, your engine brake will not be active. Now once I'm in the accelerator position, I can click OK, and there's a few other options here that I can scan through. Engine torque, boost, engine oil temp, engine load, etc. Then we've got our jacks down right now, so it's giving me that alert. If I turned on the coach, it would definitely give me audible and a visible signal on the dash. Then we've got our adaptive cruise control. This is where I can set the distance, so I can click into that and I can change it. I can disable it, I can turn it off, keep it short, medium, or long. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it short, click back in, and then my brightness controls, change that, click in, settings. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can scroll through here on the settings. So go to the very top. I've got my TPMS settings here. This is a great screen. So this is where I can add a tow vehicle if I want to, but I can see all the information in one place. My tire pressure and temperature for all tires. So then we've got our nav zoom, our wiper sensitivity, sound volume, units, service reminder, screen position. If I want to click in here, I can move my screen up if I'm, taller or shorter, however that best suits me when I'm driving. That's a nice option to have. And my auto traction control, diagnostics, configuration, and back to our home button. So lots of information right there at your fingertips. So here are our marker lights. So if we just want to flash those to thank a trucker for letting us, pass him, and then letting us know that he flashed his brights to let us know it was clear for us to pull into our lane, we can just hit those 3 times to say thank you. And then we've got our windshield wiper controls. Now remember, we have the rain sensing windshield wipers. So as long as we just turn them on auto, they'll automatically work for us. To the right speed that we need. Or if we just want to quickly turn them on low or high, we can do that right here. In the center is our windshield wiper fluid. And then just below that is our air horn. So that's one of those things you always want to check when you get into your coach. When you're driving something this big, I think it's important that you always have that air horn on. So you'll see it light up in the dash there, and then you've got that big old horn. And one of my new favorite features for 2024 is we have a key again. Yay! So a key works 100% of the time. I love it. So now to the fun part. We're going to go over our big new screen. This was all new in 2023. You have the same available updates for your 23, so you're going to be exactly the same as this 24. I love this screen, first of all, because it's just so visible. You've got your 10-inch screen up top that shows you your camera. You can click on that here and you can change your views. So I can go to that bird's eye view, which I really like, and then my rear view camera. I can also go to, let's just do bird's eye view, and then I can do full screen. So check this out. Wow. Now, if I was going down the road, that'd be pretty impressive. Here in the parking lot, as much, not as much, but I'll show you that when we do our test drive. So you can click through the different camera settings here. And I like this also, this big console, because you can easily tell if this is a 23 or 24 because you can see it from outside the coach. So it's a little cheat for me to know which model year your coach is. So let's just go ahead and we'll just kind of go down the sides here and across the whole panel and tell you all the things that you can do. So I'm just going to go to my audio setting here. This is where we can select the source, our radio. And we can just click through that, Bluetooth, USB, radio, Sirius XM, or our EQ settings. Then we can go to our climate settings. So this is your front controls up here. This is going to be for your fan. This will be to sync them together, and you can change your temperature setting just that easily, you know, cool to hot. Obviously the direction that fan is blowing. And then this is your passenger side. Hot and cold, and your AC here. So defrost there, super easy. Then we're going to go to our shades. So right now I've got the coach in ignition mode. So the key is partially turned on. My shades will not come down when I'm in this mode, but they will go up. So I can take them up and stop them wherever I want. And do my day and my night shades, and then you've got your front, so you can decide which shades you want to control and then do the day and night shades. So that's really nice. If you just want to only control your door shade right there, you would push that to have it go down. Again, my ignition is on, so it's not going to go down. That's a safety measure. Then we've got our controls here for our external mirrors, so we can adjust those really easily from inside the coach, your top portion, and then the convex portion you've got to do manually outside. Then we've got our controls for our steering column, so we can tilt it up and down. And we can do the telescopic feature, so I can take it down. And we have our pedal controls, so I can take those, bring them out. I'm a little bit shorter, and take them in for those of us that are taller. So really nice. Again, everything's so easy to get to. Then we've got our GPS. So this is a Sigic from Google for our GPS. You can actually put in the size, the length, the height, the weight of your coach, so that you don't get directed into areas that you won't fit. So that's really nice that you've got that. And then we've got our leveling system here. So we've got our jacks. You can see that the jacks are down right now. We can go to auto, manual, and travel mode. And then you can go to a high ride, normal, or low ride. So lots of options right within that feature right there. Then we can Bluetooth connect our phone. We can control certain lights from right here. So we've got the dome light, which is right above the captain's chair here. Our interior light master on and off, and our exterior light master on and off. Badge light, so that's going to be your Entegra badging on the front and back of the coach, along with the accent lights. Now there's a badge on both the passenger and driver side that says Entegra and Cornerstone. That's really nice. And we've got our accent lights. These are our show-off lights, the C lights that you see when you come into a campground, where Entegra really makes that its presence known. And then your docking lights on and off. Next up is our utilities. So we've got our house temperature. This is for this front AC. So I can set the temperature here up and down. And then we've got the locks for our cargo doors, lock and unlock, and our entry door, lock and unlock. So I can just lock it right here or unlock it to let someone in. I can turn the generator on and off. I can activate the auto gen start here, and the slide step cover I can retract and extend from right here. You also have controls over on the passenger side, which I'll show you in just a minute. So then we can go to settings. You customize some of your settings here from on this screen, clean your screen, etc. But lots of things that you can do right here. Then we've got our manual controls for our AC and heat here, for our fan, cold and hot, and then the direction of the fan. And we've got a little cubby below here, kind of magnets out so it's nice and strong if you want to set anything in there for travel while you're going down the road. This is a nice little cubby. Here in the co-captain seat, I have all the same controls that I had on the driver's seat, but I do have a bonus here. Next to me, I've got the control for the step cover, so I can bring that out so my feet don't dangle while I'm going down the road. And my favorite, I can go ahead and put that footrest up and get nice and comfy, which I love. So next to the step cover, I've got the USB and HDMI input. And then I've got a screen here where I can control a lot of the things that we can control on our front screen. So I can go to the music, and I can go to the source. So Bluetooth, USB, radio, Sirius. And I can control the volume from here, up and down. Turn it all the way off. I can also control the shade. So the windshield day shade, I just hit the button. It's really sensitive. The driver's side and the passenger side. And I can do the night as well here. Then I can do the light button, so I can do the dome light, interior master, and exterior master. Climate control, so we can sync. I can do my AC separately from the driver, but I can control those all right there. And the quick button for volume control, and then our settings. So I can control the brightness on my screen, and I can clean the screen. So if I do that, then I've got 20 seconds where I can wipe this down, and I'm not going to engage any of the features on the screen itself. Just behind that, we have our cup holder, and then we've got 110 outlets here just behind. Now we've got a nice little cubby in front of the co-captain here. Now there's a nice little feature in here. You kind of have to look hard to see it, but there's a 110 outlet here. So I know a lot of my customers, I love to go to their coaches. They love to celebrate the holidays, or just when they're camping, they might want to have a lamp up on the dash. I love the customers that have the, light up 4th of July flag or the Christmas tree. So now you can plug that in, set it on your dash, and you don't have a cord running across your entryway where someone might trip. So nice little feature. All right, so we're ready to take the Cornerstone out for a test drive. One of the things I recommend to all of our customers at National Indoor RV Centers, test drive the coach that you're going to buy before you buy it. Just get a feel for it, make sure you like the ride and drive of it. If you've never driven a Class A diesel before, don't worry about it. Just go somewhere where you're not going to have the pressure of other drivers around you. And the biggest thing to remember is that your turning point is the center of that front axle, which is actually behind you. So you're going to put your nose out until the center of your front axle gets to the turning point, then you start your turn. So it's a little bit uncomfortable at first, but again, take your time. If you're in a hurry, that's when you're going to get in trouble. Take your time and just enjoy the ride. So I'm going to turn on my blinker. I'm going to pull out till my center, and then I can watch my rear tires. I can easily see that I'm going to clear the curb there. If you're getting too close to the curb, you have time to correct and fix it. So the next piece of advice I'll give you is hug the left side of the lane that you're traveling in. Everything bad happens on the right. More road debris, signs, tree branches, they can be very costly. And if you happen to get into a little boo-boo, make sure you give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers because we have the best paint and body team. We can make your coach like new, and it's warranted for life. So make sure if you get in an accident, the first call is National Indoor RV Centers. So what I really love about the 24 is this new dash and these cameras. It's amazing. So I've gone ahead and I hit my screen view here at my steering column, and I've thrown the 360 camera onto the dash in front of me. Now you'll see I've got a car coming up behind me. You can see that the red blind spot monitor light is going to travel along the coach. So he's right at the center midpoint of the coach, and then you'll see that he's going to go all the way to the front, and that red bar is going to follow him. So great ability to see when you've got people to the side of you. I absolutely love that feature in this new dash that Entegra has given us. Now I can also throw my speedometer up there, or my maps. I can put that right up there, but I really like to have that 360 view. So scroll one more time, and then I can also go over here, just tap that. I can go to just that bird's eye view if I like that. If I don't want to watch, say I'm not towing anything, I don't really need to worry about what's behind me. I can do that, and I can also make that a full screen if I wanted to as well. But that's a nice view there. Tap it again, full screen. Now look at that. So pretty much everyone in the coach can now monitor my driving ability. Am I staying in my lane? Am I hugging the left lane? I can have a lot of backseat drivers this way. So again, you've got a lot of safety features packed into this Cornerstone. You have the adaptive cruise control, the collision mitigation, easy steer, which is just going to help you if you've got a strong crosswind or a camber to the road. It kind of, that computer system detects that wind and helps adjust for it. So really, you should be able to drive simply and just keep one hand on the wheel, keeping you going straight down the road. Should be an ease to drive, very pleasant ride and drive in the Cornerstone, and super quiet, as you can hear. Like, there's no rattling. When I get on the freeway, I'll do my decibel reader, and then you can see how quiet it really is. So I just did the decibel reader. I'm on the freeway now, and 61.8 is the decibel reader, so super quiet, super quiet. I also have the generator running along with the house ACs, so that is super impressive. All right, so I mentioned earlier AIM Club, AIM Club, aimclub.org if you want more information. It's their all-inclusive motorhome club that NIRVC is a huge sponsor of. What we want to do is have a place for our customers to gather, have a great time together. So we do rallies across the country, very unique experiences. That's what our team's been asked to do, is provide an experience to our customers that they might not get on their own. Places they might not go on their own. Always very nice RV parks, and it's sort of like an all-inclusive resort. You just come in your coach, and it's like a cruise in your coach. Everything is covered: food, drink, entertainment, private entertainment just for our group. So we have a lot of fun together. So make sure you check that out. We'd love to have you. And when you buy a coach from National Indoor RV Centers, we cover your first year's dues. So don't need to worry about that. And there's also great discounts for service and other items when you become an AIM member. So really, what are you waiting for? This is a great lifestyle. The whole reason that National Indoor RV Centers exists is to take the hassle out of RVing. So we do everything. Obviously, we can sell you the coach, so don't forget to call me. Service, wash and detail, paint and body, collision repair. Oh, and if you want to have something really nice, check out our ceramic coat video. So these coaches are beautiful. If you want to have a paint job that you really don't have to worry about, that will be protected and shine, just be a beautiful exterior for you, we can do that for you at National Indoor RV Centers as well. The whole buying process should be easy, pleasurable. We do financing. Do you know that you can finance a coach for 20 years? 20 years. So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today and start planning for the adventure that you've been dreaming about. I hope you've enjoyed my walkthrough of the 45D 2024 Cornerstone. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how much this gorgeous coach would cost you. Well, MSRP is $931,119. If you're wondering what I can sell it to you for, make sure you give us a call at National Indoor RV Centers. With our volume and economies of scale, RVs simply cost less at National Indoor RV Centers. We don't want you to pay anywhere near MSRP, so make sure you pick up the phone, give us a call. You've learned a lot about the coach. Now you got to do your part and call us. We are waiting to help you. Want to make this a really fun buying experience. In fact, when you come for delivery, we want you to spend a couple nights with us. We want you to get to know how your coach works on site so that we're here to help answer any questions. By the time you leave, you happily hit the road and then you head off to one of our AIM rallies. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, please hit the like and subscribe. Also check out our ceramic coat video, our protein video, and something everyone needs, retro band. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.